Hi, today we're going to be talking about my six-figure student loan debt-free journey and how I managed to pay off $80,000 in 12 months. In the first video of this debt-free series, I talked about the tips that I used to jumpstart my debt-free journey, so be sure to check that video out as well. In the second year of my debt-free journey, I was able to pay off twice as much because of my income and the fact that I had already established my emergency fund from the year prior, as well as other strategies that I'm going to be getting into next. Unfortunately, if you have a large amount of debt, it's going to take years to pay it off, especially if you make a average to below average income. So because of that, I found tracking my debt to be important because it helped me to understand where my money was going and the time frame for being debt free, as well as provide motivation to keep going. And that's important because half of the strategy to being debt free is, of course, income, but of course having the motivation and determination to keep going. No one wants to be spending their present money on expenses that they occurred or incurred in the past, especially when you can spend it on things today that provide instant gratification. At least I know for me that's true. Tracking debt allows you to see the progress that you're making, and it provides motivation when you're on a long-term journey. During my debt-free journey, I used a variety of trackers because I always wanted to know how long it was going to take me to get there and how much work I would have to do, so how much extra money I would have to make. And that was because I just wanted it to be done honestly, because I knew that once I would finish with my debt-free journey, then I could move on to my wealth building journey or financial independence. If you're interested in my financial independence journey that I'm on currently, be sure to check out the related videos. To track my debt, I used a spreadsheet, which you can create on your own, or you can download one of the many free versions available. I also use Mint, which is a budgeting and money tracker, and I still use it to this day. And finally, I used a website called Undebted, and that allows you to put in each of your debts, arrange them in the various orders to see which one works for you and which one can allow you to pay off your debt the fastest and incur the least amount of interest. So in the second half of my debt-free journey, my goal was to pay my debt off as soon as possible. Now that I had saved all the money that I needed for emergencies, then every extra cent of money that I had beyond that went to my student loans. So in order to decrease the amount of money that I had to spend overall, therefore making my debt-free journey faster, I enrolled in Autopay. So my particular loan service provider offered 0.25% off your student loan interest if you signed up for Autopay. So by getting a discount on the interest, you end up not having to pay as much money because that interest is lower, and when it gets capitalized, less money is being owed on your part. And of course, the less money you owe, the faster you can pay for your debt, provided your income stays the same. So if your loan service provider offers that option, then I would encourage you to sign up for it. The only way that doesn't work is if you do not have the monthly payment every month consistently. Because if you fail to have the money in your account, then obviously you're going to be charged an overdraft fee and possibly incur some other fee on the loan service provider's end. I know some people have reservations about giving a creditor access to your bank account, and I also had reservations, but at the same time, in my opinion, the benefits outweigh the risk, and I never had anything negative happen when my account was set up for Autopay. The next thing I did to pay off my debt quickly was to make a payment every time I had money. So every time I got paid, I made a payment. In my case, I got paid bi-weekly. If I got extra money or unexpected money, all of that money would go directly to my student loan debt. So sometimes I would have really large payments, thousands of dollars, and then sometimes I would have payments under $10. To me, it didn't matter. Everything adds up in the end. And of course, as you know, the lower your balance or principal, the less interest you get charged. So every time you have extra money, I encourage you to put it towards your student loan debt. And once again, for that to be a practical thing for you, you have to make sure that you have already taken care of your basic expenses in order to throw extra money at debt. So make a budget, decide what you have to spend money on and what you need every month, and then you know for sure, provided you have an emergency fund, of course, that everything extra that you make can go directly to debt. And another caveat of, say, saving extra money that you have versus putting it towards debt is that you probably will end up spending the money on something else not related to debt or improving your financial situation. So in my case, paying off debt was the ultimate priority when it came to my money at that point in time. So if it wasn't going towards debt, then it wasn't serving my financial plans or future. Aside from the tips that I've mentioned, income also plays a significant role in my ability to pay off as much debt as I was able to in 1 year. During the second year of my debt-free journey, my sources of income from most to least were, of course, my job, followed by a tax return. During that year, I took home the highest tax return I have ever receive year to date, and that is because of credits that I received due to the fact that I was a student. In fact, the refund was so large that I was able to pay off an entire loan with just that refund, which was of course amazing. My next source of income was interest from my bank accounts. So at that time, high yield savings accounts were paying 1% in interest. So if you had a significant amount of money in there, you were able to garner a good amount of interest that you could use actually to pay for something. And then my other source of income was Rakuten, which is a cashback service for everyday purchases that you make online. And as I've said before, this only works if you are using it for things that you're already planning to purchase. If you use it to purchase things that you that you had not planned to purchase or don't need, then you're losing the benefits and you're actually benefiting the company versus yourself. So definitely stick to things that you already are going to buy, and then you can earn cash back on those things, which you can use that cash back to pay your debt down. And then my final source of income was by selling things that I no longer needed. So as I mentioned before, I have several things like most people that I didn't need. So I would sell my clothes, shoes. When I decided to move, I sold furniture, household items, so anything like that. Everything adds up and you're solving two things at the same time. You're getting rid of things that you don't need, and you're getting extra cash that you can use to accomplish your financial goals, such as paying off debt. So after accounting for my regular monthly expenses, I was able to pay on average $6,672 per month during that year on my student loan debt. And because this is the average, that means that some months were higher and some months were lower. So some months I had thousands of dollars to put towards my student loan debt, such as the case with my tax refund. And then sometimes I only had hundreds of dollars to put towards my student loans. If you would like to see exactly how much money I put towards my student loans per month in this particular year, then I will be sure to leave a link in the description box. Subscribe to see how I paid off the last of my student loan debt in the next 8 months. Let us know how you're doing on your student loan debt-free journey or any debt-free journey in the comment below, because we all love finance and the motivation of seeing other people doing well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.